Guys, so if you do have this engine light blinking in your car, you better stop driving, stop the car and park it instead of driving continuously, because it's gonna worsen the problem and it might damage also some other parts of your car. And this is exactly what happened to me when I drove the car with this status. Oh no, you won't imagine what happened. This burnt the starter of my car, and now I have to replace it because I want to troubleshoot what's going on with the engine, why it's giving a misfire. Engine misfires can be caused by bad ignition coils, bad fuel system, or bad power, or it could be a bad cylinders too. And we're going to look at that step by step after replacing the starter of this car, so that we will be able to diagnose what is going on with the engine. So just in case you do have a misfire in your car and the engine light is blinking, I'd rather stop it and contact the mechanic if you don't know what to do, or just park it and don't drive, because it's gonna worsen this. So that is the starter of my Jeep Compass 2007. I will be showing you shortly on how did I troubleshoot the misfire of the engine after installing this starter. I disconnected some parts that could possibly involve why there's an engine misfire. But let me give you a hint why my starter got burnt. This is what happens when I started the car and run it. The starter is still kicking because it's thinking that one of the cylinders haven't started yet, so it keeps on trying to start it until it exhausted itself and burnt. So running an engine misfire doesn't do good for your car and for your safety. So I'd rather park it and call for a mechanic. And there you go. I was able to replace the starter, and it took me around 2 hours to replace it. And this is the time I was able to start the car again. And now I can start diagnosing it. And of course, I'm gonna use scanner in order to know what's going on in there, why there's an engine light blinking. And now I have successfully started the car, and I just checked the engine oil and it was okay. So we will go to the real job. I use scanners here in order for me to determine what are the codes that has been throwing up to this scanner. And like what I've said, I've seen the misfire there, other than the other 3 codes or 5 codes that have been causing the issues probably. So to start with, I have to disconnect all the possible parts from the power supply. First and foremost, I disconnected the fuel injectors from its wirings and tested them. I just wanted to make sure that the power is rolled out here, so I tested each sockets that are connected to the fuel injectors, and they were all okay. They have 5 bolts, and everything was fine, so I ruled out the issue of the power supply here. The next thing I did was removing all the ignition coils and checking the resistance of it and making sure that they have the same output. Even though the old ones were checked and confirmed that they're still working, I still bought new ignition coils just to install this, and thinking that it would fix the issue. And after testing and comparing the resistance From the old one, I confirmed that everything was working fine, so I ruled out the ignition coils, even though I have replaced them with the new ones. So I installed the new ignition coils, replace also the spark plugs of the engine, and then put in the new ignition coils, and thinking that it would fix the issue. I started the car, reset the scanners in order to delete the codes, but upon starting the car for a few minutes, the codes return, and it's still spewing the same thing. So it seems like there's a different reason there why there's an engine misfire. That means to say that the ignition coils and the spark plugs were okay, because even if we've changed it with the new ones, the problem still exists. So to conclude, the ignition coils and the spark plugs were okay, and now we're going to move to the next. The next step that we will be testing is the fuel injectors. Wherein they're connected to the fuel rails, and you can see me here removing the fuel rails in order for us to check the fuel injectors one by one and see to it that they're still spewing gas or fuels into the cylinders. And removing the fuel rail of this Jeep Compass 2007 is not a rocket science. It's just simple. All you have to do is to remove the 2 bolts that's holding up the fuel rail, and you're gonna have to unplug all the fuel injectors from the cylinders in order for you to take it out, and make sure that the fuel injectors are still spewing good enough of fuel to the engine cylinders. A 9-volt battery and 2 alligator clips connected to the pins of the fuel injectors. Finally, I have taken out all the fuel injectors with the railings, and we're ready to test it. Basically, this is the operation of the fuel injectors. This is the sound that you can hear if they are still functioning, and of course by putting the alligator clips you will be able to turn it on using a 9-volt battery. And look at it, it is giving enough fuel, and this is how you're going to switch on and off. With this test, I was able to confirm that all the fuel injectors were all working and giving enough fuel to the cylinders of the car, and I ruled out that this is the issue why there's an engine misfire. So you can always test if your fuel injectors are still working by doing the same. It's just a matter of 2 alligator clips and a 9-volt battery, and you will be able to confirm if they are still working. This is to avoid costly repair. Fuel injectors are good, so we ruled that out, and now we're going to the next level of investigation. And by this time I bought compression tester in order to test the compression of the engine, and look what I found out. I was able to determine at once the issue. When I tested, the compression of my 3rd cylinder is only 50, which is far below the normal compression of the Jeep Compass cylinders. The normal compression should be around from 150 to 185, but my cylinder number 3 has only 50, so repairing this car will not going to be worth. So I'm not going to repair this. It is a big win for me because I didn't give it to somebody else for the checkup, and I was able to determine the real issue of the problem, why there's an engine misfire. And here you go, there's a problem with the cylinder 3. and I believe that it's not going to be worth it if I'm going to repair it, because it's gonna cost me more than the value of the car. So that made me decide that I'm just going to sell this car. So remember this, that you will be checking the ignition system, the fuel system, the power system, and of course the engine when you are experiencing engine misfires in order to troubleshoot. And obviously for this car, the problem is the engine. It has a problem with the low compression in cylinder 3, and definitely that is the one that is causing the engine misfire. And of course, because of this reason, I have to sell this car, and I'm not going to repair it anymore because it's gonna cost me more than the value of this car. And the days passed by, someone broke the car and took all my tools inside, which is really not good. So that made me firm to decide that I really have to let go of this car. And someone bought it. And there you go. The car is still drivable.
Bye-bye.
And the one who bought it said that
You did a
he's
good job.
going to repair
Bye
it. And,
bye.
yeah, I just sold it.